After having watched the previous video, so you can define motif and theme, now that you're watching this video, you should be able to identify at least one motif in a story you are reading and write a theme for that story as well. If you need a review of Freytag's plot pyramid, you can take a look at it here or watch that video again. And remember, once we find a motif, that recurring idea, we can see how that motif appears in different parts of our plot, how the conflict might deal with that motif, and then come up with a conclusion on what the theme or the message of that story might be. You have a video that looks like this. I'm sorry, you have a chart that looks like this. In this chart, you're going to type a motif from your novel. It might be one or two word phrase, and then a full sentence about the lesson that we should learn. I'm going to show you an example. And I'm going to use Little Red Cap again, the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale. The little girl goes to the woods. The wolf distracts her. The wolf eats Granny, tricks Little Red, eats Little Red, and then she's saved by a woodcutter at the end of the classic fairy tale story. A motif that I feel pops up often in Little Red is this idea of lies or misdirection. The wolf gets Little Red to wander stray off the path, and then the wolf dresses as Granny and tricks Little Red. And these tricks keep throwing her off and gets her in danger and gets her eaten by the wolf actually until she's miraculously saved by a random character later on in the fairy tale. So I have to come up with a theme that says something about lies and misdirection. The story doesn't tell us that lying is wrong. Our main character, it's not a main character or a protagonist rather, who's lying and gets in trouble for lying and they learn not to lie. No, our main character is falling for the lies. So the story is telling us something about how that character is dealing with being lied to or being misdirected. So I've crafted this sentence that tells us as readers and people to be aware of your surroundings and strangers so you are not taken advantage of. I think that's one of the lessons of Little Red, based on how she deals with the conflict with the wolf throughout. The wolf is actually mostly successful against her until the end, when someone else saves her. And if she didn't stray off the path, she would have gotten to Granny's before the wolf. If she didn't get close enough because the wolf was pretending to be Granny, she wouldn't have fallen for that misdirection. So that is my theme of my novel, or the fairy tale in this case. Your task now is to go back into your novel, identify at least one motif, an idea that keeps popping up, and then create a one sentence theme or message that we readers can learn from your story that is based off of that motif.